So guys, Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals is happening tomorrow. And you might be thinking, hey Turtle, you're looking very dapper today, mate. And I'll be like, yeah, I do look very dapper today. It is because I'm off to a wedding. And you might be thinking, why is this relevant to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Blog where the Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals is happening tomorrow? Well, so I'm a married man, which means 50% of the time, me and my other half, we don't listen to each other. And I clearly did not get the memo when the missus told me that we are actually staying at the wedding venue tonight so we can have breakfast in the morning with the wedding party. Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals is happening tomorrow, which is definitely a bit of a problem, which means she probably hasn't listened to me either and doesn't realise that I plan to go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals tomorrow. And that is not just the only problem. The other problem is because I am not coming home tonight, I'll be staying at the wedding venue. I'm going to have to take my Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards with me to the wedding. I'm going to have to take literally as little as possible, like just my deck, no trades, nothing. I mean, I'm literally contemplating whether to take a paper playmat and just putting it in my little top pocket up here. Yeah, it's definitely not ideal. And the other problem is I haven't really done a lot of testing with the deck. I usually like to do a bit of testing the day before I take a deck to locals or a tournament or whatever. And I haven't touched this deck since literally the end of episode 1. So the end of episode 1, I come home, went straight back in the lab. Well, it's still fresh in my mind what I wanted to change in the deck. And I tested with the deck for like about a week after then. And I really enjoyed it. But that was, yes, like I said, that was probably over a month ago now. And in the meantime, I've been fully focusing on Virtual World. It's not going to go well, I don't think, guys. But we're going to give it a go nonetheless. And regardless what happens, I'm looking forward to it. So, with that being said, I better finish getting ready for this wedding.
What is going on, guys? It's your boy Kybalord, and welcome to episode 2 of Dueling with Dragons. Now, if you're new to the channel and you don't know what this series is about, it's basically a challenge where myself and Hardcore Cards try and top locals with our favorite dragons, me being with the ultimate creature of destruction, Blue Ice White Dragon, and Hardcore Cards being Odd Ice Pendulum Dragon. Now, we are week 2, and if you missed episode 1, it is on my channel, so definitely check it out. Hardcore Cards did manage to come in 4th place, and I unfortunately came in 10th place in episode 1, so how did we do in episode 2? Stay tuned and find out. But before we begin, I want to give a huge thank you to all you guys who are subbed to the channel, and if you're not subbed to the channel, make sure you sub. We're at 900 followers and we're so close to that 1K. Hopefully we can get there before the end of the year. But honestly, thank you guys so much for all the love and support. I do really appreciate it, and I do this content, we make this content for you guys to enjoy. So without further ado, let's get started.
Yo, what's good, guys? It's Turtle from Hardcore Cards on Instagram, and welcome to episode 2 of Dueling with Dragons, mine and Kybalord's brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Blog series, whatever you'd like to call it. Episode 1 didn't go too badly for me. We picked up 4th place in the end. Hopefully you watched episode 1, and in there I discussed what matchups I had and how the deck got on and that kind of thing. But I did say we'll probably be making some changes, and changes we will be making. So, the first thing I felt with the deck is it worked okay. Definitely extra deck needs to be worked on. There was a lot of times where I just had dead cards in the extra deck and just no ways to really use them. Especially if my board was very, very lackluster, and that's where it got punished the most. So the idea is we're going to try and be as competitive as possible, and if we get hand trapped to oblivion, we can still put up something, and that something is the Dragoon package. Now, I'm not a massive fan of Dragoon, and I don't want to lean on it because I believe in some way, shape or form, the Dragoon package will get hit eventually. I was definitely expecting it to get hit on the last list, but it didn't. So it's definitely going to be on the radar at some point. So yeah, I don't want to lean on it, but if we're going to try and win locals, we do need to be as competitive as possible with Odd Eyes. There is some other interesting changes we can make to the deck. We only had access to one Joker last time. That was because the ban list didn't go into effect until the 1st of October, and which time of the locals was a week before. So we can now change it up and put 2 Jokers in. So the changes I'm thinking about making. I'm not sure about this one, but because we've got 2 jokers now, I'm going to try taking out the Pendulum Sorcerer. The idea of Pendulum Sorcerer was to search Joker, but that would usually be after the Pendulum summon, and depending whether we've already normal summoned or not, we wouldn't normally get access or make use of Joker until the following turn. Whereas if we do have 2 Jokers, it's a lot more consistent, and it's a really, really good normal summon, especially for Odd Eyes, because it can literally search anything out for you. So the next thing was Summoner's Art. So Summoner's Art is a card which can search you out the Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum. While we have got a lot of ways to search Arc Pendulum, we've got Revolution Dragon, we've got Jules Alliance, we've got Sky Iris. I always found that I would use perhaps Jules Alliance to search Pendulum Call, Odd Eyes Revolution to search Supreme King Darkworm, for example, as well. So yeah, there was times where we, apart from Sky Iris, which I suppose, but even then, sometimes Sky Iris I would be searching the Revolution Dragon out with that as well. So we just need a few more ways to get into it. So I'm thinking because we're going to go into the Verte and Red Eyes play, we'll take out the Dowsing Fusion. I really like the Dowsing Fusion as a tech card, but like I said, we're just going to be trying to be as competitive as possible, and unfortunately the Dowsing Fusion play just does not do that. So we're going to put in the Summoner's Art for that. Then for the Red Eyes package, so 3 bricks. Yeah, not going to lie, it's not going to be ideal if you open any of them. Although saying that, Red Eyes and Dark Magician are both level 7, so it can help with our absolute plays. But for this, I'm going to take out the 2 Desires. I really dislike Desires, and Sunday at Locals really showed how much I disliked Desires. It just was not working out for me. I'd banish all my key pieces. I'd not draw into anything useful. Yeah, Allure of Darkness, on the other hand, worked very, very well. Loved Allure, hated Desire. So I'm dropping the 2 Desires, and I really don't know what to drop as a third card. I mean, I'm tempted to drop a Pendulum Call, and the reason being is because we have so many other ways to search the Pendulum Magicians. So we've got Joker, obviously Pendulum Call itself, and then not only that, when harmonising this Pendulum Summon, you special summon from the deck, and as you can see, we haven't got a massive Pendulum Magician lineup really. And I did find there was a couple of times where I'd draw into a Pendulum Call late game, and it's just completely dead, got no targets. So I'm going to risk it and drop a Pendulum Call. Not gonna lie to you, I'm not sure how much I like that. In the time, I might drop the Summoner's Art for the third Pendulum Call, but I'm just going to try this out, and of course add in the Dark Dragoon package. Yeah, so this will be the list. We will be making some changes to the extra deck as well, and them changes will be, so that I liked, that I liked, that I liked, Dweller I liked, Masquerade, Appaloosa, Selene, Access Code, Underworld kind of underperformed for me. Like, it's in there for a reason, but I never really got a chance to use it. So when I went up against Agnista, for example, I was thinking, that's okay, I've got the out to that, but I just could not climb my way up into Underworld. So we'll leave it in there for now, but that's certainly something which has potential to be cut. Obviously, Verte is really important now, and Absolute Dragon for the Vortex. But these are the cards which I think will be dropping. Big Eye, honestly, just never really come up. I always ended up going as like Absolute or even this one, which I gotta be honest, I don't like the fact that I'm going to be cutting this, because that worked really well. But at the same time, our main aim is to go into Absolute rather than one of them two. So yeah, we will drop that. We'll drop the second Vortex because the Vortex was only in there as an additional potential target for Absolute Dragon, whereas normally went for Absolute into Meteor Burst, link them away for Verte. Absolute summons this out instead of Vortex, because we could then use Verte to use the Dowsing Fusion, but that play is no longer. So these are the cards I'm taking out, but like I said, I'm not sure if I like taking that one out, but we're going to give it a go. And we're going to put in, obviously, Dragoon itself, Avramax, this is the question mark. I've got to be honest. I will show you a combo video in this episode and show you why I'm, and hopefully go full combo and show you why I'm putting in Avramax. Dark Rebellion, love Dark Rebellion. There was a lot of times where I just needed a big body just to attack the game and I didn't have it. So Dark Rebellion is a must. And Tornado Dragon just because it's handy for back row. So I'll get them sleeves changed up and I will share with you a combo video. And I hope you guys enjoy episode 2 of Dueling with Dragons. So, as promised guys, a combo video showcasing what I hope my Odd Eyes build can now do. Online, it's been doing very well. I've been testing it quite a lot and it's been putting up a lot of nutty boards actually. Like, it's been a lot more, what I personally think is more competitive than the last build. However, we do obviously have the free bricks being the Red Eyes Dragoon package. But the thing is with the Dragoon package, they may be bricks, but providing you can get 2 monsters on field, which in Pendulums shouldn't be too difficult, get access to Verte, and as long as your Red Eyes Fusion is still in deck, you can get out Dragoon easily. It's the same with if you got Red Eyes Fusion in hand. As long as you bait any Ash Blossoms they might have, which again in Pendulums is quite easy to do when you've got cards like Pendulum Call, Spiral Flame Strike, Sky Iris even, you know, anything like that. Providing you bait the Ash Blossoms, honestly, Dragoon on its own can win you games, and that is the key factor here. We just want to be as competitive as possible, and even if they do out the Dragoon, chances are they'd have had to have gone their play a very different route to what they would like to, so it puts up a lot of problems for your opponent, and that is the idea of it. We do want to be as competitive as possible, obviously, so that is why we've opted for this Dragoon package. But that's enough shuffling, hopefully anyway. Let's see what the Yugi gods have dealt us today. Petal Poison, not too bad. Odd Eyes Arc, always nice to see. Darkworm, Pendulum Call, Darkworm's always the key, and Joker in hand. That is about as good as it gets. That is broken. Okay, so we will start off with Pendulum Call, ditching the Darkworm, which is always the absolute god combo. And we will search out Harmonized Magician, and I honestly don't know. I honestly do not know what we got. So we'll have a low scale in Petal Poison or the Gate, but we'll probably need the Gate as a level 7. So we'll go Celestial, just because Celestial offers a lot of nice card advantage at the end. I won't shuffle because it is only a combo video and we will be going back in. Darkworm, because we control no monsters, we can special summon. And then Darkworm Effect to search us the Donut, which we do play 2 of. And I had, oh look at them, lovely 2 together. I had a lot of people question why I play 2 Donuts. And honestly, in Odd Eyes, they're not really bricks. Like, if you open one, it's still a low scale, it's still a level 7, and that's what you want to see. But at the same time, you've got another target for Darkworm left in your deck, which is very, very key. Don't get me wrong, if you saw both the Gates in hand and opening hand, it's not ideal. Luckily, it didn't happen to me at last locals, but there's always time for it to happen. So then we will normal summon the Joker. So Joker Effect, at this point, if I haven't ashed you already, I mean, I'm fairly certain that to ash the Pendulum Call, they're definitely going to ash the Joker. So Joker Effect will grab us. Or, if I did ash the Pendulum Call, you've then got the Joker to follow up to grab you a Harmonized Magician. Harmonizing is obviously the key one. With Joker, what do we want with Joker? Can search your Odd Eyes monsters as well, can't it? So, do we really need another Magician? I don't think we do. We'll get another Odd Eyes out the deck. Doesn't really matter. We'll grab the Ulti Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. This hand is disgusting, by the way, guys. Absolutely disgusting. So then we will link those 2 away for Verte Anaconda, which will definitely bait out any Imperms, Veilers, anything like that they might have. Then what we will do, we will scale Odd Eyes. We will scale don't think I could scale. No, I'll scale the gate because we can get the level 7 from harmonising. This is tricky actually. We've almost got too good of a hand. We will pendulum summon out. So we definitely need that. We need that. 1, 2, 3. We definitely need harmonising. 1, 2, 3, and then harmonising it as a 4th. And we will do. Oh, I honestly don't know. I don't think it really matters. Do a Joker. Joker maybe? Yeah, Joker. So we've still got Pearl Poison left in hand. Harmonising effect. We'll special summon out the level 7 Pendulum Magician, which is, of course, Zhang Shay Magician. Oops, left a card behind there, but it didn't really matter. It wasn't Zhang Shay. We will activate Celestial's effect. So on end phase, we can grab whatever pendulum monster we want from deck to hand. So at that point, I'd probably grab a Joker, to be honest with you. But that is on the end phase. So now the shenanigans will begin. So we will start off by overlaying those for, of course, Ollow's Absolute. We will then link, I think we're going to have to link Joker and Ollow's Absolute away. So I'm getting right in the way of the camera for IP Masquerader. Ollow's Absolute will trigger to summon out Ollow's Vortex Dragon. Then we can overlay these two, Harmonising and Celestial. Celestial will still get its effect, as long as it's activated on field, it'll still get its effect to trigger on end phase. So we can go into a Dweller, or we could have gone Tornado Dragon if we know our opponent is on a back row deck. Then, so this is our board now. Got IP, we've got Verto, we haven't used Verto yet. Got Dweller and we've got Vortex. So then we'll pay our 2,000 life points. Send the Red Eyes Fusion with the Dark Magician. There's Dark Magician. Obviously, there's the Red Eyes Fusion and there's the Red Eyes. So we'll send that to, of course, summon out Dragoon. Then we will move to end phase. End phase, Celestial's effect will resolve. Just neaten that up a bit. And like I said, we will probably grab a Joker at that point. So we've still got 2 cards in hand, which is quite nuts, really. And yeah, this is our end board. So we've got 2 Omni Negates, we've got Dweller, and then we've also got IP sat there. So IP, what we can then do with IP on an opponent's turn, we could then go into either a 2 Material Appaloosa, which will be another 2 Monster Negates, or, and this is why I put it in there, we could go into an Avramax, which Avramax, a lot of people forget how much of a pain Avramax is to deal with. And that is why I've opted to put it in here. Honestly, I don't know how many times I'll go into it, because chances are I'll probably go into Appaloosa more. But the Avramax is there, which is nice. It's really good against some matchups in particular. So yeah, that is the plan. And yeah, I don't think that's too bad of a board. With still 2 cards in hand, obviously we'll draw for turn. On our turn, get a 3rd card. So yeah, that is the ideal end board. So I hope you guys enjoyed this combo video, and thankfully I got to showcase what I would class as full combo and what the deck can actually do, just at the cost of playing the free bricks. I have to say, it will be interesting to see how many times I open at least one of these cards. Thankfully, in the combo video, it wasn't today, but you just know that's going to happen. You have to be a very, very good duelist not to open any of them. So yeah, but thanks for watching the combo video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the episode. I'm sure Kyberlord will be cooking up some real spice, because he's recently, with Blue Eyes, had new support for Blue Eyes from the new 2021 Mega Tins. So I'll be very excited to see what he can come up with for that. But yeah, sit back and enjoy the rest of the episode.
Episode 2 of Dueling with Dragons, coming right up.
We're here, well, just about.
Episode 2 of Dueling with Dragons, guys, coming right up.
Odd eyes and blue eyes, you know the drill. Let's see who can get that locals win. Welcome to the Hobbit Hole.
Stardust, black rose, no hope, life low. I'm trying to reach a new level. I got the key to the temple. I set a trap in my mental. This is the one that's gonna end them. Stardust, black rose, no hope, life low. Alright, I'm set, I got my deck. I'm about to head to my homie crib next. I got a brand new combo with some chicks. I'm about to burn them for 8,000 quick. Got it on standby so you can't draw. Main face ain't shit, go to your school face, that mean you lost. That's how it be when I be throwing cards. That's how it be cause I be random gods. That's how it be if you try to come to me with all of that pitiful shit from your pops.
Alright guys, so I just finished round 1 here at Locals today with episode 2 of Dueling with Dragons. I got paired up in round 1 against Invoked Dogmatica Dolls, and I did take the L 2-1, but it was a very close round. Game 1, I did manage to beat my opponent. Game 2, I bricked really bad. I drew 3 blue eyes, opened my 3 blue eyes, and opened 2 Artifact Lancia, which is what I sided in. But I somehow weirdly still managed to survive 4 or 5 turns, so it was a big surprise. Game 3 was a very close one as well, but my opponent just managed to draw hard draw Ash and just kept ashing my trade in and all my searches with my blue eyes. But weirdly enough, I still managed to survive like 6-7 turns, so it was a very close match. Big surprise against Invoked Dogmatica Dolls. My blue eyes build this week managed to keep up with it, so it was a very interesting matchup. But I mean, we did take the L 2-1, still very close, so stay tuned to see how my other games will go.
So guys, we just finished round 1. Up first was against Tri Brigade. We're good friend Sam on the Tri Brigade actually. Game 1, we managed to get the win. We went full combo and it was just a bit too much for Sam to deal with. Then game 2, we had a pretty good hand for going second, but unfortunately we just didn't have quite enough to get over the Tri Brigade board, especially like anti-spell and like Ash in hand as well. And then game 3, we bricked badly unfortunately, and a single Ash Blossom just stopped our play straight in our tracks. So yeah, we took the loss on that round, but you know what, I'm feeling good about the deck actually. It's apart from the bricked hand for game 3, it's been okay. So yeah, we'll see.
Alright, so recaps to round 2, 3, and 4 I am doing from home. I know the first one I did at Locals, but then I didn't have time because my rounds just kept taking ages, especially round 3, which I will get into in a bit. But round 2, I did get the bye, so it was kind of like a free win, which honestly didn't help us much in the final standings. I would have rather played a game, obviously to have fun, to enjoy it, and to see what I could work or like what I can change in the deck. Round 3, I did come up against a pure Shaddoll player, and bless him, he was barely returning to Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, so he'd been off for like a couple of years, he said. I think the last time he played was like when Synchros were out, or like the 5Ds era, so he picked up Shaddoll and he decided to come to Locals, so shout out to him for returning to the game. And it was honestly a really tough matchup, probably my favorite matchup of the whole day. We did go to game 2 and we did manage to score the draw. He took game 1, I took game 2 because obviously time ran out and he had less points than I did. Game 1, I mean, Shaddoll, we already know they can recycle so much from their grave and they're just a grind deck. I did manage to go into access code turn 3, but he managed to out my access code talker, banished it. I did have Alpha. Alpha came pretty clutch in the deck, trying to bounce back his App Cologne or like his Construct. But I mean, he just had outs, and Shaddoll honestly recycles so much. Game 1, I was literally 3 cards away from decking out, so I was like, it's just your game. I scooped, I gave him the game. I was like, I don't really want to scoop. I want to like grind this out and like hopefully try and win. All I needed to hit was for 4k, which I could have, but I mean, he kept super poling me, he kept using Paleo Dynamiscus, banishing whatever I had on the board, so it was just a really tough matchup. Game 2, it was kind of tough again. He kept super polying me. I kept making that mistake of giving him 2 monsters on the board, so I think he paid life points for a Solemn Strike, I believe, and then I managed to hit for like 1K or something. And then time ran out, and I unfortunately had the draw. Well, unfortunate for him, because he lost that. It could have been his game, honestly. I don't think I would have been able to beat him. I mean, I would have loved going to a game 3, but yeah, we got a nice little draw. Round 4, we came up against Hardcore Cards, and I will just show you guys a clip of how that went.
Stardust, black rose, no hope, life low. I'm trying to reach a new level. I got the key to the temple. I set a trap in my mental. This is the one that's gonna end them. Stardust, black rose, no hope, life low. Alright, I'm set, I got my deck. I'm about to head to my homie crib next. I got a brand new combo with some tricks. I'm about to burn them for 8,000 quick. Got it on standby so you can't draw. Main face ain't shit, go to your school phase, that mean you lost. That's how it be when I be throwing cards. That's how it be cause I be running gods. That's how it be if you try to come to me with all of that pitiful shit from your pops. Really do not wanna do me, I've been playing coy, but I'm truly best man on the squad. Grim is the rival, KJ up next, G Killer come through with the.
So basically, you saw his end board game 2, game 3. I could not do anything. One of my biggest mistakes in this episode was my side deck. I feel like I had so many options to play in my side deck, but I was stubborn, and I wanted to play Ice Dragon Prisons just because I didn't have them until the reprint. So I was like, I really just want to play this card. And yeah, I think my biggest mistake was honestly the side deck. I could have made better choices on what to side. But game 1 against Hardcore Cards was really spicy. He brought out his whole board, and my only out to his board was really trying to go into a Zeus and then just send everything to grave. So Lancelot came in pretty clutch in 2 games. Obviously in the one Hardcore Cards, and in the Shaddoll one, basically Lancelot, he can swing directly, so you can just skip whatever monsters they have on board. Main phase 2, you can go into Zeus, and I believe I had 3 materials on Zeus, 4 materials, so on end phase, where I believe it was his main phase, I chained Zeus and sent everything to grave. He couldn't do anything, so he scooped, and we went to game 2. Game 3, he just brought out that insane board with Dragoon, Avermax, which honestly a lot of people forget Avermax is a card, and he's just honestly a pain to deal with, especially as Hardcore Cards was linking into him with IP Masquerena, so it was just an unbreakable board. I didn't draw into any of my kaijus. I feel like Raw Sphere Mode would have been like quite clutch. Side decking, he is definitely something I am considering. Lava Golem is another good one. I know kaijus are the ones people always go to. You always want the weaker kaiju, you go for Gadarla, but I mean Lava Golem, you tribute 2 monsters, and Raw Sphere Mode, you tribute 3 monsters. So I think a lot of people are opting for that. I have been seeing that in a lot of online builds, so it is definitely something that I'm gonna try out. And then in the final standings, I unfortunately again came in 10th place. As I said, the side deck was one of my biggest mistakes. People at my locals, they are very good players. I'm not gonna lie, there is a lot of competition, but they kind of never stick to just one deck. They change it up every week, so it's really hard to pinpoint what I want to side. So I kind of just try and side in general to target something. I know I did want to side in Dimensional Barrier for Hardcore Cards just to declare Pendulums, but I mean that's just really just siding 3 cards in for 1 player. So although a lot of people have been siding it, main decking it now in Altergeist, because I know it targets some of the newer meta decks. But I mean, it's something worth looking into. But as I said, the side deck could have definitely made more work.
So guys, just finished locals, just dropped Kybelord off, and obviously you must be wondering about the remaining 3 rounds. Well, after losing round 1 to Tri-Brigade, round 2 we was up against Lightsworn, and we managed to get the swift 2-0 win on that one. Round 3 was against Bees, my good friend Oti on Bee Troopers, and we lost that one 2-1. We managed to win game 1, and then game 2 I sided a lot going second cards, expecting him to go first, and he actually played me big time because he then made me go first, and I just had nothing really. Like, I had a lot going second card, so I passed turn to him. Luckily, he didn't have enough to OTK me, so I thought, well, I've got a chance here, but unfortunately, my top deck just wasn't good enough. I didn't have quite enough plays to just get in for that kill shot, so I scooped that one. And then game 3, obviously, hopefully Kybelord edited in my opening hand, and that was on game 3. And yes, I did open 3 Scarus, 1 Terraforming, and 1 Gate Zero, and it was possibly just the worst hand I could ever wish for. I mean, honestly, the likelihood of even opening that hand is like very slim. I think I'm probably more likely to win the lottery than opening that hand. I mean, it is just, that was ridiculous. I've never ever seen something as bad as that. So yeah, he won that game. So he took the game 2-1. And then in round 4, we was, of course, up against Lord. First time I played each other in a very, very long time at locals, actually. Very, very long time. And he won game 1, put Zeus on the field, Zeus on my board. Yeah, Pendulum struggle against when you get a whole scales and all that board wiped. It's not good at all. And then game 2, I obviously went first. I set up full combo, and to be honest, it's just a bit too much for Blue Eyes to get over. And then game 3, I was expecting him to go first, and he didn't. He actually made me go first, and luckily for me, I opened very, very well again. Actually, a very similar hand to my last game, actually, against him, in our game 2. And we managed to set up a pretty good board, and yeah, we took the win. And I have to say, MVP in that match was Avramax. Avramax caused a lot of problems. Like, just the fact, yeah, he's a pain to deal with, Avramax, and I'm really glad I included it in my deck. Actually, I was a bit on the fence with Avramax, but after playing him today, he was very good. He was definitely the unsung hero in my deck. However, we did finish 2-2, and not as good as last time. I think we ended 8th place, which is last time we ended 4th, so definitely not that good, really. But you know what? I had fun using Odd Eyes, and we will definitely go again. I've got a few ideas of what I want to change in the deck. Not as much as last time, I must admit, but there's certainly a couple of bits I just want to try and iron out the creases as such. So yeah, I'm sure Lord will let you know how his day went. Yeah, and until episode 3, we will see you again soon.
All right, then, guys, it is time for the deck profile now. So we are playing 3 of the biggest brick and also the most important card in the deck, the 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon. And this week I am using the OG SDK artwork as voted by you guys on my Instagram. So if you want to get involved and vote on what Blue Eyes artworks I use, or what playmat I take to locals, or what field center, what tokens, and other bits, definitely follow me and Hardcore Cards on our Instagram pages. The links will be down in the video description. So 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon. The main reason I dropped Pot of Desires in this build was mainly because on episode 1, I ended up banishing 2 of my Blue Eyes, or all 3 of my Blue Eyes in some games, which can be quite risky, as in this deck, you honestly cannot do much without your Blue Eyes. I mean, you do need it for alternative. You need it for Nebula Dragon. You search off Melody, Return of the Dragon Lord. So it's the biggest brick, but it's also, I mean, the glue of the deck. So 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon. We're playing 2 alternative White Dragons. I got the secret rare, rarity bump. Hopefully one day I can have the ghost rare. But I mean, 2 alternative White Dragons. I would not play 3, as that is just adding another massive brick to the deck. So obviously you reveal the Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand, and then you can special summon him. His pop effect is once per turn, and remember, you cannot attack the turn you activate that effect, and that effect is optional, so use it to your advantage. We're playing the 1 Dragon Spirit of White. This was one of the cards that I thought of dropping from the deck, but honestly, it's really good. It can come in clutch sometimes. When you bring him back from the graveyard, you can then banish a spell or trap your opponent controls, and you can quick effect them and special summon a Blue Eyes from hand. So that's always quite handy. And he's always treated as a Blue Eyes card, so he can be searched off. What is it? The White Stone of Ancients. Our one-offs, we're still playing the 1 Chaos Levineer. We're playing the 1 Nebula Dragon, which I told you guys in the last video that I would definitely drop Nebula Dragon. I have to admit, Nebula Dragon this week, even at 1, was insanely clutch. You reveal him and you reveal a normal level 8 monster from your hand, which will then be the Blue Eyes White Dragon. You can then special both in defense, and you guessed it, you can go into your XYZ. So really good. I wouldn't play 2, to be honest, because when I was playing the 2, I would always draw into the 2, so that's not really useful. A new addition to the deck is the 1 Galactic Spiral. If you control 2 and or more light and or dark monsters, you can special summon him from your hand or graveyard, and basically when you trigger his effect, it makes all the monsters you control level 8. So if you've got a stone in the field, if you've got Sage on the field, they do become level 8 due to his effect, and then you can spam the board with your XYZ monsters. Another addition of into the deck is the 1 Alpha, which honestly I might bump up to 2. Basically special summon him if your opponent's monsters attacks equal higher than yours. So obviously if you're going second, you control nothing, you can special summon him, trigger his effect, bounce himself back, bounce something back that your opponent controls, and you can special summon him again, and I don't know, link him off, or you're going to want to go into your XYZ plays. He cannot attack the turn you activate that effect. For our danger package, we are playing the 2 Danger Bigfoot, the 1 Danger Thunderbird, and the 1 Danger Nessie. Now, this package did increase as I was only playing Danger Bigfoot and Danger Thunderbird in my last build. I did add another Danger Nessie. I know it's at 2. I won't play 2 because it's a level 7. It's not even a dragon, so it doesn't really help us except being in grave for Chaos Levineer. Danger Bigfoot, I honestly might drop a Danger Bigfoot as I would always just draw into both of them, and it gets kind of breaking when you're trying to trigger his effect to either special summon him or pop, as it is once per turn. So also another very important thing, versus the Shaddoll player, I was locked under Winda and I'd already special summoned something. So I was locked out of special summoning. Basically, Winda only allows you to special summon once. Someone that was watching our matchup did question if I was even able to trigger Danger Bigfoot because of Winda, because I couldn't special summon. And the answer was yes, you can, because you're not always guaranteed the summon. So the reason I triggered Bigfoot is because I was honestly hoping he would be discarded and then I could pop the Winda on the field, but it wasn't Bigfoot, and then I was obviously locked under Winda, so I couldn't do it. It's basically a dead effect. You can't do anything. But yes, you can still trigger the Bigfoot or the Thunderbird, any danger, because you're not always guaranteed the summon. For our stones, we are playing the 2 Stone of Legend and the 2 Stone of Ancients. Basically, our search to our Blue Eyes White Dragon, and this is basically to recycle our Blue Eyes from grave. I mean, if he goes to the grave at the end of the turn, you can special summon a Blue Eyes card or Blue Eyes monster from your deck. So it could be the Blue Eyes White Dragon or the Dragon Spirit of White. And basically, what I mainly use this for is if I've got an alternative in hand and I don't have a Blue Eyes, a normal Blue Eyes, to special summon him, you can banish this from grave and take a Blue Eyes card from your graveyard back to your hand. So it is really good. I wouldn't bump any of these up to 3. 2 has just worked really, really good. I usually link them off for Link Karibo, and then that's when I get the search for the Blue Eyes White Dragon. More tuners, we're playing the 3 Sage with Eyes of Blue. This is honestly a really important card in this build, in my personal opinion. You normal summon him, you can then search the Effect Veiler, or you contribute a monster, an effect monster you control, and discard him and special summon a Blue Eyes from your deck. So 2 really, really good effects. And I mean, the normal summon effect basically gets you a negate in your hand, which is the Effect Veiler. These are your materials for Halki, Celine, Access Code, Talker combo. They both are spellcasters, so don't forget Sage is a spellcaster, so you can use them in the Celine combo. So you've basically got 5 targets for Celine and for Halki. For hand traps, I did bump up the number a bit. 2 Ash Blossom, you can never go wrong with it. I decided to main deck Nibiru, which honestly never came up. So I might drop him back into the extra deck. 2 Turtle Kaiju. I wasn't playing this in my last build, but I thought, hey, there's a lot of Dragoon Pass. There's a lot of monsters that can give us a hard time. So I decided to play him. I might honestly play, I don't know, even Lava Golem or the Raw Sphere Mode in the main deck, as a lot of boards, especially hardcore cards, he would end on 3 to 4 monsters. So there is a lot you need to get rid of that just 1 Kaiju just won't do. And the last 2 we are playing Infinite Impermanence, 2 copies. So yeah, I mean, we're playing Effect Veiler. We're playing 2 Effect Veilers, 2 Infinite Impermanence. So it's basically you've got 4 monster negates there. It's clutch if you draw infinite impermanence and effect Veiler. So if you Veiler your opponent and they negate it for some reason, you've then got the imperm in your hand, as you can drop it if you control no cards. So it is quite accessible now, as it got reprinted in the Cyber Structure deck. It's got the maximum gold reprint, it's got the dual overload reprint, the dupo, the ultimate rare if you've got the cash for them. But moving on to spells, we are playing 3 Melody of Awakening Dragon. This is our search card for the Blue Ice White Dragon, for the alternative dragon, and for our Chaos Levineer. We are playing 3 Trade-In. We are playing tons of level 8s, Chaos Levineer, Galactic Spiral, Alpha, Blue Ice, you name it. Trade-In, discard it, discard a level 8, draw 2 cards. It is not once per turn, so if you've got 2 Blue Ice in hand and you've got 2 of these, you can drop both of them. And also, before I forget, with Galactic Spiral, he is a level 8, so you can discard him with Trade-In and then trigger him from grave. So that's a nice little combo a lot of people forget. The last 3 spell cards we are playing is 2 Return of the Dragon Lords. This is our Monster Reborn, pretty much. Target 1 level 7 or 8 dragon monster in your graveyard, special summon it back. So if you've discarded the Blue Ice with Trade-In, you can bring him back with Return of the Dragon Lords. And then once Return of the Dragon Lords is in grave, you've basically got dragon protection, because if your dragons are going to be destroyed by battle or card effects, you can banish this from grave and basically protect them. The last 3 cards are 3 trap cards. We're still playing the 2 Solemn Strike and the 1 Skill Drain, which I honestly did not see at all, which I desperately would have needed in all of my matchups. I am playing 42 cards in the main deck, no Pot of Desire, so do call me a madman. I will drop 2 cards to try and make it 40 again. I mean, the deck itself was very consistent, but we can make it even more consistent by dropping those 2 cards. But, I mean, it was worth testing the 42 cards. For the extra deck, generic links, we're playing the 1 Link Haribo, and we are playing the 1 Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. Now, Link Haribo, you want to link into him using your stones or your sage. I would not play 2 copies because you can tribute a level 1 monster you control and then special summon him back. Remember that if you're under, I don't know, like a skill drain or something that negates monster effects on the field, Link Haribo triggers in grave because he sends himself for cost and then triggers in grave. So do remember that. Chaos Levineer, Soldier of Chaos is just here. I don't know, he's just a flex spot. You don't really need him. There wasn't really a situation, or there hasn't been a situation where I've been like, oh, I really need to link into Soldier of Chaos. He's just there as just a generic link. He is a big beat stick if you do summon him, and if you've got materials to spare to link into him. But if you don't have him, I know he's still quite a lot of money. If you don't have him, just play a Nightmare Unicorn, play a Heavenly Spheres, or play a Nightmare Unicorn, or even you can play, what's his name? Relinquished Anima, which I don't have. I should probably pick him up. Our last 3 links are the Hauki combo, Hauki, Celine, access code combo. So Hauki, you want to link into him using your tuners, which are your stones, your sage, and your hand traps, your Ash Blossom, your effect Veiler. Celine, you do need a spellcaster, so that's when you want to target this Sage and the effect Veiler, and then obviously you can link into the access code and then go from there. For our XYZs, we are playing quite a few. We're playing the Dragublion package. So this is basically if we can OTK on our first going second turn, you want to go into Dragublion, detach, go into Numeron, detach. So if you manage to spam your board enough, you can have another XYZ and hit for even more if they've got like a monster on the board, and then you can beat over it and then hit for like quite a lot of damage. But if you manage to pop stuff with dangers or just get rid of stuff in general, swing with Numeron. If you're going, I don't know, first, and you know it's like a spell-heavy deck, I mean, you can end on Hope Harbinger as well. Remember, Dragublion cannot be targeted with effects. We're playing a really small Galaxy package, which is the 1 Photon Lord and the 1 Photon Dragon. Photon Lord is your Nibiru negate, so if you've got enough stuff that you think you're going to be able to spam quite a lot of XYZs, or if you're going to do a lot of special summoning, do try and go into Photon Lord, as he is your monster negate for that Nibiru. And, I mean, you can overlay it into the Galaxy Dragon, detach 1, pop a face-up card your opponent controls, swing for 4k, or, I don't know, go into like other plays. You can swing for him. Obviously, Photon Lord will have 2 materials. You've got the Photon Lord, you've got the Dragon. If you swing with the Dragon, you can then main phase 2 go into a Zeus, and you will have 4 materials, so you can trigger Zeus twice. We're playing the 1 Dingirsu. Best XYZ in the game, in my opinion. Send 1 card your opponent controls to the graveyard, and it gives you protection. The 1 Sanafond Prison, which honestly, I hadn't read this card in a while, and it basically locks you and your opponent out of special summoning from the grave. So really good this format, I would say. Preventing people from special summoning from their graveyards. And we are playing the 1 Lancelot, which honestly, as I said in my intro video, it did come in really clutch versus Hardcore Cards Game 1. He can swing directly, so if they've got like a big board that you can't get through, just swing directly, main phase 2, go into your Zeus, and then wipe their board with the Zeus effect. He is an Omni Negate. You have to be really careful as he can negate your own stuff. We're playing the big boy, obviously, the 1 Zeus. If you don't have the BLS link, the Soldier of Chaos, and you do have a spare Zeus, I would definitely then play the 2nd Zeus. Because if it's just a grind game and you can go into the 2nd Zeus, definitely do it. So if you don't have Soldier of Chaos, don't worry about it. Play the 2nd Zeus. That is a really, really good option. The last monster we're playing is the 1 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Now, I was playing 2 copies of him, but I found that I didn't really go into him a lot. He is really good, don't get me wrong. He is your negate for that Tri-Brigade Revolt, as it locks you and your opponent from special summoning 2 or more monsters at the same time. So it does, it's really good against Pendulum monsters, and it's really good against Tri-Brigade, as again, it negates that Revolt. But that is it for the extra deck, guys. Now, the biggest L was the side deck, but I'm still going to show it to you. This could have definitely used more work, but as I said, people at my locals don't really stick to 1 deck. They switch it up every week, so it's really hard to pinpoint what to side deck. So I did just try and go for general stuff. And that was the 2 Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion. This was in the main deck last episode, but I mean, I think I used it like 1 time last time, so I was like, I'm going to drop it and try Nibiru, as Nibiru kind of like was needed more last episode. So but I might switch them back, as this time Nibiru didn't come in handy. The auto win card of the format is 3 Artifact Lancia. It's basically a win against Tri-Brigade. For our back row hate, this is a weird one. I'm playing the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, the 1 Cosmic Cyclone, and the 1 Twin Twisters. I believe I was playing 2 Twin Twisters last time, but with Blue Eyes, we're already breaking a lot. We don't really want to get rid of resources. I'm playing the 1 Cosmic Cyclone just because I could have played 2, I could have played 3, but again, everybody is playing Lancia, so that will basically prevent you from activating Cosmic Cyclone. And I mean, Harpy's Feather Duster is Harpy's Feather Duster. If you do have the Lightning Storms, definitely play the Lightning Storms. I personally don't have them, but I do want to pick them up ASAP. Another card is 2 Dark Ruler No More, which honestly, I knew I was going to regret it, not playing the 3rd one. I will definitely bump this up to 3. We're playing the 2 Ice Dragon Prison. This was just a stubborn card. I just wanted to play it because I didn't have it, and I finally have it now. I'm definitely dropping Ice Dragon Prison. I don't really think it works well with Blue Eyes. I have seen a lot of people play it, but I personally think it's just another massive brick. Definitely, I would switch it up for another Dark Ruler No More, and maybe another back row removal card. The last 3 cards we're playing is the 3 Solemn Judgment. This card came in really clutch. I think it was possibly the 2nd best card I played in the side deck. I did side it in a couple of times. I didn't see it as much, but when I did use it, it did change up the matchups. I don't know if I want to stick to playing it, as it's very risky with Blue Eyes committing to half your life points. I know it is that negate, but with Blue Eyes, I mean, if they manage to negate something and we've paid half our life points, they can just wipe us out next turn. But yeah, that is it for the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know what changes I should make. Let me know what changes I should definitely make to the side deck. As I said, that was my biggest L. And again, we were playing our Kaiba token with our New York exclusive Comic-Con playmat. I was using the OTS Blue Eyes White Dragon Field Center, and obviously we've got the godly Kaiba Lord Field Center with our Kaiba Lord logo. So that is it for this episode of Dueling with Dragon, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Show a lot of love to this video. 900 subs. We're so close to that 1K. Thank you for all the love and support. Kaiba Lord out. Episode 2 of Dueling with Dragons was definitely fun. I'm not gonna lie, I think I enjoy playing Blue Eyes more than I enjoy playing like meta decks. I know I play, if you guys have seen my channel or my Instagram, I am on Lyra Lush Tri Brigade, I am on Grand Maju, Stun, Danger Maju, I love Sky Striker. But honestly, I think Blue Eyes White Dragon is just, I don't know, it's that like nostalgic feel, you know, like I know Blue Eyes was the very first like boss monster I picked up when I was little, when I was barely getting into the game, when I was like, I think 7, 8. There's just something about it, like I understand why Konami keeps giving us Blue Eyes and Dark Magician support. They are the mascots of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, you'll instantly, if someone doesn't even know Yu-Gi-Oh! I've had like co-workers or I've had friends who I mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh! To, they don't play, they don't know nothing about the game, and they go, oh yeah, I used to play that when I was little. I had a card, I think it was like Blue Eyes something dragon, or like Dark Magician. So I mean, they are just the monsters of Yu-Gi-Oh! They are the face of Yu-Gi-Oh! So we can understand why Konami gives them so much love. And honestly, I do love my Blue Eyes White Dragon. I am trying to like max the rarity, obviously. Hopefully I get that DDS Blue Eyes one day. But yeah, I mean, I love playing Blue Eyes White Dragon, and we'll see how episode 3 of Dueling with Dragons goes. Hardcore Cards and myself are thinking of maybe swapping decks for a Christmas special. What do you guys think? Should we do that? Let us know down in the comment section down below. But thank you guys very much for tuning in to episode 2, and definitely stay tuned in my channel for more spicy content, and make sure you like and subscribe as we are very close to that 1K. Kaiba Lord out.